Hey folks, welcome back to GP Reactions. My name is Gail. This is my channel, and it has been about 2 weeks since I've done any reactions. No, actually, tell a lie, it's been about a month since I've done any reactions, but it's been about 2 weeks since I uploaded, I think. Yeah, so can only apologise. I had a bit of a stomach bug, but also I was before that, I was helping a friend out with a lot of stuff. She's disabled, and I was just kind of helping her out with a lot of paperwork and I don't know, important stuff, I suppose. Which I'm kind of glad. It's always kind of rewarding when things come off, but yeah, it kind of yeah, it took like a lot out of me, and then I got this like stomach bug, which I think was just something that was floating about. So I was kind of up most nights. Just with bad stomachs and stuff. Anyway, it's good to be back, and thanks for everybody who has subscribed. Really appreciate that, and also for those who have commented and suggested music to listen to. I do have a list of music that I'm going through at the moment, but I will sort of trawl through the last 20, 30 videos maybe, and see what people have suggested on those, and make a new list. That'd be a bit of work for me to do. I don't mind doing that, and it's some like interesting tracks. And yeah, for the first time in probably about 9, 8 months, I'm kind of feeling better physically. As people know on this channel, I've not been that good over the last since about February. I've had a lot of weird stuff happening with my health, and hopefully, I've got faith that, little bits will kind of fix themselves as they go along. And for sure, that has been happening. And hopefully, that will continue so that I'm really, really fit. Um, when I guess, for Christmas for next year. And, moving on, I've got to stay healthy and fit as well. So, yeah, that's something in the pipeline for me to focus on. In the meantime, it's good to be back doing some reactions, and I started this album. I can't remember when. I think I listened to the first track. I can't remember what, but this is track 2 on a Yes album called Time and Word, which came out in July 1970. This is their second album, and I think it was about 3 years on from their debut album. So, which I think was either 1967 or 68. I'm not sure. Um, so yeah, this is a track called Then, and this was written by John Anderson. So back then in Yes, we had John Anderson on lead vocals, Peter Banks on electric and acoustic guitar, Chris Squire on bass, backing vocals, uh, Tony Kaye on Hammond organ and piano, and Bill Bruford on drums and percussion. Um, I really want to get into this without further ado. I can't remember what the first track was like on this album, but the previous album was like lovely. It was mystical. It was meaningful, and it was a really beautiful listen to. So, and I think the first track I heard on this one was really nice as well. So let's see how this one continues. Interesting cover for an album as well. little hopeful vibes from this.
Love is the only answer. Hate is the root of cancer. Then
So,
truth is just for the being, and there's a sight for seeing. Then thoughts will be thought together soon in our minds forever. Then as long as we see there's only us who can change it, only us to rearrange it at the start of a new kind of day. And in a time that's closer, life will be even bolder then. Love is the only answer. Hate is the root of cancer. Then thoughts will be thought together soon in our minds forever.
that was yes with from the album "Time in a Word" with a track 2. Um, it was kind of odd because it felt quite. I don't know. At certain points, I kind of felt that it was a little bit. I don't know. It's yes. It is yes. I shouldn't really say self-indulgent, but I sort of kind of felt like the music was maybe trying to compete with a message. Um, and maybe that's unfair. Maybe I felt that the message was about initiating change. Um, and with other people, you can maybe i- achieve that more than you can achieve it, more than you could achieve it if you was on your own. And um, that was a sort of a not an anger in initiating change, but a sort of a forcefulness, a determination, and you can be determined to do a good thing. Um, and it's not always, a gentle, lovely process of trying to do a good thing and trying to initiate change in your life and maybe other people's lives. Um, an egg has to be broken to make an omelette. But so I was kind of trying to sort of engage with those vibes, and I thought the message in parts was like really, really lovely. Didn't get all of the lyrics, but that was my overall impression, and that the chaotic bits were, those stumbling blocks that you encounter in life where things are a little bit chaotic, but you can't lose sight of a goal, which was genuinely a I'm trying to think of a word. The spirit of attaining that goal and the spirit of that goal um, can sometimes get derailed along the journey, but as long as you don't lose sight of the spirit of what it means at the end, then I think together with other people you can achieve that. That's kind of how I felt, and the music was sort of like the derailment in this. And so when I thought kind of halfway through that the music was competing with the message, um, and maybe like literally um, it was becoming self-indulgent and drawing me away from the message of John Anderson's lyrics. Maybe that was like, that was the intentional bit to, this kind of tug of war between distraction and staying on the path to a goal. That was just my take of it. I'm not going to go into the lyrics, but I will have a quick look at the comments on this. I mean, if anyone has a good idea of what this song was 100% about, then please let me know. Drop me a comment. A masterpiece as his whole album, a great fusion of jazz, rock, orchestral music with an epic sweet and wonderful atmospheric lyrics and soundscapes. Definitely, definitely, and I think that it brought a lot of different elements into my mind, which I was kind of thinking of a kind of like a wild sort of jazzy feel to it, and it was definitely sort of atmospheric. Um, I kind of found it quite chaotic. There was a lot of different things going on, and I almost was wishing that it would settle down for a minute or two, and it didn't really sort of it didn't let go of a bone in that sense. It was quite relentless, but yeah, just amazing all the same, really. And I think, when you kind of like go from the first album into a second album, you have to kind of evolve. You have to do something slightly different, keep a few little elements, but, move in the right direction or in a different direction or any direction. I mean, people are saying that I can almost understand why um, Bruford left when he did. It's almost like the yes sound was perfected right here. Chris Squire's bass playing is majestic, ethereal, and right up front without being too much. Somebody said, "I'm not going to lie, I I feel kind of sad that this lineup didn't last more." Yeah, I think just as the music has to evolve, sometimes band members evolve and they create their own ideas of what they want to do next. And sometimes if they look at like looking at a short-term plan of a band for a particular album isn't enough for them. It's like they're trying to get that quickening that they want to jump onto something different. It gives them a taste for a different flavour, and it is a shame that some of the great bands and albums have then kind of resulted in band members leaving to go on to different things. A lot of people thought that Genesis was dead when um, Peter Gabriel left in 1974, and it may have been 1975, but between the album Land Lies Down and I think it was the next album was either Wyndham. I think it was Wyndham Wuthering. Um, so yeah, a lot of people kind of felt that Genesis was dead, and clearly, I mean, they weren't. They had some great albums after that, but yeah, people feel differently about when a time is right to move on. And I'm assuming that after this album, that certain members of a band leave. I'm not really sure because I will wait for that surprise come the next album. But so far, I'm enjoying this. I might have to remind myself what the first track was like because you listen to so much music and sometimes you kind of get lost. You get muddled up with other music, but right in the moment, so far I I believe that both first and second track this track were really really good. So please let me know what you think. Please join me in the comments below. And till next time, take good care of yourselves. And I will catch up with you soon.